What is going on, everyone? It's Ultimate Spy 53 here, and welcome to another episode of Reviewed number 118. And today, I'm going to be reviewing the movie The Great Wall. So what did I think of The Great Wall? I thought it was a wonderful movie, honestly. It was a fantastic movie. It really was. It's action-packed, has a great acting, great actors. Mainly Matt Damon. He plays a European named William, and he also has I think it's his brother. I guess his friend who's a Spaniard. Who they're like being attacked or something, and then they're in the midst of a fight, and then they get attacked by this creature called the Tao Tieh. Creatures, I meant to say. And so basically, the whole movie is about the legend of the Great Wall of China. How it's been, I think it's 5,500 feet long, and it took 1,700 years to create. It means 1,700 years to actually build the thing, and it's massive. And so basically, he and his friend, I want to say it's his friend, they come across the Great Wall of China after they are attacked by the Tao Tieh, or a single Tao Tieh, I believe. And they take to the Great Wall of China, and they saying, "Oh, this is what attacked," basically. So that's when the Great Wall of China goes to defensive mode, basically. It goes, it's defensive and does this amazing, they have amazing defensive stuff. So it also stars Willem Dafoe and Jing Ting. Now, Jing Ting is one of my favorite Chinese actors, because the really good thing about this movie is that because it focused on the Great Wall of China, a lot of the actors, there's maybe like, I want to say 1, 2, 3 actors who were not Asian, Chinese, whatever. So that was really good. I mean, people complain about this movie about being whitewashed. They whitewashed, they thought that whitewashed Matt Damon's character. No, I don't think that was the whole thing, because a lot of the actors who were in the movie were Asian, or in this case China, like the part of Asia that is known as China. And I think it was amazing. Like, my favorite actor, Willem Dafoe, was in it. He's one of my favorite actors. You may have known him for playing the Green Goblin in the Spider-Man trilogy, or he played the character in the first movie, and he also cameoed as one character in the later movies. And so he was in this movie as this mercenary guy, or whatever you call it. I don't know exactly what he's known as, but he's this guy called Ballard who basically helped him out, and it's amazing. It's honestly just the action, the cinematography, the choreography. It's amazing. And I think my favorite part about this movie, it just has to be Jing Ting's character. She plays, wow, she's gorgeous. She plays one of the most beautiful women you could ever think about. Like, compare her to like Gal Gadot. She's gorgeous. I mean, seriously, like, there's a lot of beauty in China. Like, China is known for its beauty. I think that's why I get like the Asian culture really fascinates me, because it's so beautiful and so elegant and it's so amazing, and they just have amazing stuff. Like, the fact that armor is detailed so well, and it's beautiful armor. Like, God, that armor is amazing, and just seeing how the characters come together to fight off the Tao Tieh, which are the creatures that they're fighting off. But basically, the fact that they have all these, they have archers, they have like every new thing they do, they have drums. Oh, we have to do drums, wait, bang the drums, make that happen. It's like, oh, close combat, okay, bang the drums. Like, it's a fantastic movie. People didn't like this movie as much because of the fact that people thought it was whitewashed Matt Damon's character, but I don't think that was at all. I think it was a very interesting movie. It definitely had a very, very interesting plot. I like that, because Matt Damon's character, he's a European, but I'm pretty sure he's Irish, because he has the Irish accent. I mean, and because he's American, but he has an Irish accent. And people are like, I mean, I can see people complaining about people with accents, but he did a pretty good job with it. I mean, it's noticeable that that's like, not a real accent that he's using. Like, it's an accent that's not native to him, so he's not using his real accent. But from a standpoint, I think it's a wonderful example of someone who can do a perfect European accent. I mean, it's European accent, but it's definitely Irish. You can tell it's Irish. It's very much Irish. But yeah, and then just seeing him go, because in this, on the case right here, he has shaven hair, but there's not anything on the case at all about him having a beard. But at the beginning of the movie, he has longer hair and a beard. Both him and his friend have longer hair and a beard, and it's like they of course they smell like animals, so they have to shave. That's kind of the whole thing, and so honestly, I think it was wonderful. It was really good. I thought it was amazing to watch. It was just the fight scenes, the badass story of everything. I especially like the part of the defense of of China where all the women warriors were on like the edges of the bridge thing, or this like this structure where they basically think about it like a bungee jumping essentially. They're basically bungee jumping, except not. They're like it's like the past version of bungee jumping. What bungee jumping would have been back then. They would have ropes and then they slow down and then they attack things. Of course, sometimes people would actually die. Show in the movie that people actually die when they do that, but like they have to be careful. But like it's amazing. Honestly, I think that just seeing China in a different way, because I've never been to the Great Wall of China. I've only seen a few Chinese movies, sort of like that. Well, mainly the Chinese actors being in American movies, basically. And so, seeing this movie, it just amazes me with the cultural impact. Like there was a part of the movie where the general of the movie, he died because they were looking on a lookout, and then one of the Tao Tieh came onto the Great Wall of China and actually killed the general, which was very sad. And so they had this ceremony, and it's amazing. It's honestly gorgeous. Like seriously, they have like this Chinese singing, and they have like imagine you think about the movie Tangled, which I did a review of. I don't know if I talked about the lanterns in the movie, but in that movie they honored Rapunzel with lanterns. In this movie, they honor the general's death by setting up like little candles that are like they're the little floaty thingies, basically, and that was just amazing. I just thought it was spirit. It just feels spiritual, very peaceful. I think it's wonderful, especially if you hear all the Chinese men, I think even women too, all singing at once, like singing obviously in Chinese, but like it's even if you can't understand it, the important thing is that it's amazing. It's beautiful. It's just wonderful to hear, and I think that was amazing. And so even if I can't understand what I was saying, it's still really fun. I just love the Asian culture. I love Asians. I just always love them because especially since I attended college where a majority of the students there are Asian, and that's really cool. So I just think it was really fun. I think that Jing Ling's character, Commander Lin, she was interesting because it's almost as if she and William are, I don't know, it almost feels like that there's some kind of connection going on, because when they first meet, she's like willing to be there at his side, and there's actually a scene where he's looking at her, and then she looks at him, and then he looks back. It's like, oh, is there some kind of romantic tension going on there? I don't know. And honestly, when they first having a conversation, he's like, we're the same. And she's like, oh, we're not the same. And it's like, oh, and then the more you think about it, like the more you're like, oh, does she like him? Because at the very end of the movie, we see him leaving the Great Wall of China because they have defeated Tao Tieh finally. And so basically, we see the camera pan to her, and she looks amazing. She just looks gorgeous. I think honestly, compared to all, because like I mean, in general, Chinese women, I think she's one of the most beautiful Chinese women I've ever seen. Because I'll admit this, I have a picture of her on my desktop. I can't really help it. I really just, she's amazing. Look, she is gorgeous. Look at that. She's gorgeous. So I think she's one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in China culture, and she does a really good job. I mean, I think she's the only person aside from, I think her and him are the only two people who actually speak English. Like the entire movie, there's only two people in the entire movie that actually speak English that are Chinese. The rest of them all speak Chinese. They don't speak any English. They basically are two ones that are actually able to speak. I mean, in typical movies where they have a Chinese person or a Japanese person or a Korean person or whatever Asian person they have, there's always a subtitle of what they're saying. I mean, every movie like that where it's like, oh, this person's from China, Japanese, or Korea, or whatever other country they're from, and they always have like a subtitle right there. And so that was the really important thing about having that, well, not only because that's usually what happens in movies where a Chinese person or Japanese person or whatever, an Asian person is present and talking, but also the fact that we have a translator and all that stuff, and it was just amazing. I just couldn't get over it. It was like she's gorgeous. Like, she's amazing, and she's beautiful and wonderful. I mean, she's a warrior. She's a badass warrior, and especially thinking about her as a leader, and also the women warriors that are in the movie, because there's the warriors in the blue, because the whole army of China, the whole, like, in terms of the Great Wall of China, everyone is no color. There's yellow, there's black, there's red, there's green, there's purple. Pretty much the entire, colors of the rainbow. I'm pretty sure. I don't know about orange, but pretty much all of them. And they all have their designation. Like red are archers, and obviously blue are warrior women. But like, they have a certain leadership, because like because she's forced to take over the general, because the general dies, and she's forced to take over as leader for that. And that was really, I mean, it wasn't always sad, but it was also like showing that she is powerful, that she can do it. She can actually pull up this off. She knows what she's doing. She's a good leader. We also see that there is somewhat of an attraction towards William from her. I don't know. I really wish it's like I really wish they made a sequel, because it would have been interesting. I mean, unfortunately, I don't think this made enough money, or got enough. I don't think the reception was good enough to get a sequel. But like, I really hope they would get a sequel, because it deserves a sequel. I mean, seriously, I don't know what they could do for the Great Wall 2, but like, it was honestly amazing. It was just, in terms of storytelling, they did a really good job with the action sequence, especially when they're fending off the Tao Tieh, which are the creatures that are in the movie. They're disgusting. I don't think they're not on the Blu-ray here, but they're just horrifying creatures. They're like these like they kind of resemble dogs in a way. They're kind of these huge green dog thingies where they have eyes. And they're just horrible creatures. But basically, that was the whole thing. And it also wasn't just the Great Wall of China that they visited. It was also the capital of China. I think it was Beijing. I don't know exactly what it is. It's the capital of China they visit, and they have this beautiful palace. I mean, seriously, the palace in general is gorgeous. The outfits they wear are beautiful, like, they're just dazzling. And so we have I think the prince of the capital. I don't know exactly who he is, but basically, because the whole idea of the movie with the Tao Tieh is that they sleep and they're unable to move with black powder, which is also a magnet. Like, you know, black powder with a magnet, I think it's just the magnet in general. Black powder is a different thing, but like, they use a magnet, and that controls the Tao Tieh, makes them sleep or whatever. And so that's the whole thing. And also the fact that in general they're crazy, and they're vicious, and they're terrifying. But also, it's really interesting to see the Chinese react to it, because it's just amazing. It's honestly, it's a wonderful film. Really, it really is. It has a great actors, wonderful. When I watched the trailer in the theater, because I unfortunately missed my chance to see it in the theater, because a lot of the thing with movies, like, I can't see all the movies in theater, even if I want to. But like, this movie with Willem Dafoe, he surprised me. I'm like, I some of my favorite actors, Willem Dafoe. He's a fantastic actor. He has such a good job. He has like a really good voice too. And so seeing in the movie, he played a really interesting. I don't know if he could call it interesting. He was just I guess he was there. He was there. He gave advice. He wasn't really insignificant. Really, I don't know. He was interesting, I guess. As an actor, he's my favorite, but like, as a character, he wasn't. He was just like, I don't know. He was just there. He was basically did the same thing. He was there for the same reason that William and Tovar, I think it was, the Spaniard that was with him. I think it was very the same purpose, and that's what happened. And so that was just really interesting. But also, I gotta say that the really interesting thing about the movie was the way that the Great Wall of China defended itself. That was amazing. That was honestly really cool. Like, every time they do a formation, the drums, they have the. If you think about the movie Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, that movie, they had a scene where all the Orcais, the Orc and the Orcais are different things. Orcais are like, they're putting their shields up, and they're stack each other. I think there's even another example of a movie that has the same thing where the shields are all stacked each other. I think I'm also thinking about The Hobbit: The Battle for Armies. That movie was also an example of where they put shields, like 3 shields, 1, 2, 3, like all in like that. And so it was the thing with this one where they had close combat formation, where they had the shields all piled up in front of each other, so we'll all be like in a formation. That was really cool. I thought that was fantastic. I thought the structures that they had for the defense, because it just proves to you the Great Wall of China is protected. They know how to defend themselves. So that was something I really I thought was really freaking awesome was the fact that they really knew how to defend themselves, not only with the amazing armor. I mean, the detail with the armor, I just couldn't believe it. Like they had, like dragon armor. It was, wow. It was gorgeous armor. I've never seen anything more beautiful than armor. I mean, I say that I'm like, usually I don't think about armor that way, but like, armor, that's beautiful. What happened there? How did I even think about that? But yeah, it totally is a thing. But just in general, seeing how the girls trying to defend themselves, they have all these structures, they have drums, they have bows and arrows, they have fireballs, like giant fireballs that attack the Tao Tieh. That was fantastic. And especially the final battle where the Tao Tieh are, like, they go in hordes, or like, you know, they scale a building, and then they aren't scaling a building, or I think the leader, the queen, because the, you know, part of the thing is the way to defeat the Tao Tieh is basically to send in black powder or magnets, or yeah, black powder essentially, and fire black powder into them to destroy them. And so, and every time they would, I think the queen would call upon her minions, I guess I want to call them that. And so she would call them that, like, you know, to basically just have orders or whatever. They use these little like these little dishes or whatever. It really, they're crazy creative, but like in general, I thought it was a very interesting movie. I thought it was fantastic. I will say that that I really wish they would have kind of teamed up the idea of Lynn's relationship with William, because not only is the actress in general beautiful, but also the character is beautiful, because she's elegant. She is, aside from this guy, the only Chinese person who can actually speak English, like as before. And that was something that I was really like. I mean, usually when you think about a Chinese person, they don't speak English very well, but when they do, I mean, I don't know, they have the accent, of course, like the Chinese accent, so that they have. So she was I don't know. It's hard, because especially when you're a Chinese person, you don't know much about English. It's hard to understand. Like apparently, it's revealed that Willem Dafoe's character Ballard, he actually teaches Lynn English, and it's actually not bad. It's actually a pretty cool display of talent right there. And so honestly, I think it was really cool. I think that William as a character, he goes over time. Like he's just, I mean, obviously he's Irish. He's technically European. I don't think they're really. I think it's how much he's European, but he's obviously Irish. And so there's a scene that really demonstrates how amazing he is in terms of skill in combat. Is that he fires, you know, 3 arrows. He fires one of them to hit a ball, and then it skids to the very to like this whole thing, and then he fires 2 more arrows, and in like slow motion it hits this one, and then right before the ball hits the, you know, about to fall to the ground, the next arrow hits the thing too. And so another thing with choreography, with weapons, is that a lot of the movie, it had a lot of that in it. Like it had, you know, there's a scene in the early movie where they're fighting against the Tao Tieh, where the literally Tao Tieh are like after them, and they have like arrows firing downward, and you see like the slow motion arrow going. It is so cool. I think that's just a wonderful display of cinematography with weapons, because that's just amazing. That's just really, really cool. And honestly, in general, with the combat system, with the skills, everything like that, yeah, you know, you have William basically saving this young boy's life, and, you know, fighting against the Tao Tieh, where again, these terrifying beasts. And so you have that happen, and it's just like, whoa. Like, you see him just like tear him to shreds, and like, ugh, it's horrible. But like in general, I thought that was it was freaking awesome. It was well made. Despite what on Rotten Tomatoes, it wasn't just set on the Great Wall of China. That was the purpose of that. It was like the legend of the Great Wall of China. Like all these beasts are attacking the Great Wall of China. That's the whole thing about it. But like they also go to the capital, where they also fend it off, and that's the thing where they have also the balloons I was talking about earlier, where they go in, but instead of them actually being balloons that are like lab, and then you go to and someone dies, they're actually balloons that are actual things you can ride, like I like a air balloon, but like it's like a Chinese version of that. So it's really crazy. So they end up going to the capital of China, and they end up fighting off. And then, of course, the final battle scene is where they're trying to like they're trying to defeat obviously the whole thing about that is trying to defeat the Tao Tieh. So they basically are trying, like, Matt Damon's character is getting this building and trying to like shoot the Tao Tieh, and it keeps failing, and that was like, it's just, and then they have to team up, and it's like I just really wish that Lynn and William would have been a thing, because at the very end of the movie, it's like almost hinted that could be kind of thing, because like unfortunately that's not going to happen, because I don't think it got super going to get a sequel. In fact, there's not even a sequel on my Wikipedia page. Like there's no at all sequel happening. I don't think there's ever going to be a sequel happening, which is unfortunate. But like, because I really like the movie, but like in general, I think that Lynn had a crush on William. I think that she did, because we see her at the very end of the movie kind of like look onto the horizon as William is departing, and I think it's pretty clear what's going on there. Like, it's clear that she likes him, like she has a thing for him because she's a beautiful woman. He's a very amazing person. Like, in general, he's a really good person as a foreigner who he seems to know a lot of things about using a weapon, and that was really something that was really cool. But in general, it was phenomenal. Also, one more thing I should mention, that the armor, I guess I'd say the armor is fantastic. But at the very end of the movie, we have Lynn in different armor, and it's like silver, and it just makes her even more beautiful. She's like the most, out of the entire movie, I gotta say, she's the most beautiful person in the entire movie. She's like, she's with her armor and her, appearance, she's the most beautiful woman in the entire movie. She's gorgeous. That's why I have her on my desktop, because she's phenomenal. She's beautiful, she's wonderful, she's brave, she knows what she's doing, she is really, really good at what she does. That's why she was such a good person. But in general, it was really, really interesting. I think that it was fantastic. I don't know what to say about it. I just think it was fascinating. It was interesting. It had a very interesting story. God, it was interesting. Like the more you watch the movie, the more you'll be wanting to know more about what happens next. Like especially with the plot of, they're defending themselves from the Tao Tieh. That's the whole part of the movie. That's like of course they then move on to the capital, which is where when the Tao Tieh go to. But also the fact that that's the whole thing about it. Because I think the trailer actually just looked like a monster, but it was actually. Turns out it was actually an actual creature, like an actual creatures, and so. But I just think that it was just fascinating to me, the story of it, the impact of China's culture, and just in general how crazy, powerful, and defensive the Great Wall is. Like they know how to defend themselves. They've been for centuries, and they really know how to defend themselves. They have everything. They are prepared for everything. That was something I really enjoyed about it. But overall, it's fantastic. I really wish they made a second one, because it was really, really good. It was very well done. I love there's a certain beauty about China, and that was something that I really liked about it. Was the beauty, the armor, the different, I guess the different possessions, because I guess depending on the armor that each soldier wore, it depends on what weapon they do. Like if they're blue, they're the women, and they're on the structure on the like staying on the structure where they're bunch jumping essentially. They're the red people, they're the archers. I think purple was the close combat. I don't know exactly. I can't remember exactly how it worked, but that was basically the idea. So, but that's basically what I think. What I have to say about the Great Wall. It's fantastic. I really wish I got to see it in the theater, but it didn't work out. It wasn't a thing. But honestly, I will say, to round this review up, I will say it had some great actors, great acting in general, great cinematography, fantastic music, really intense battle scenes. Like you'll see the cover of this. You know the fireballs. Those were intense. The weapons were really good. The armor that captured the culture impact of China. They did a really good job with the movie in general. I think that was really the thing. I think that, like, the only thing people seem to complain about the movie is the whole whitewashing of Benjamin's character. It wasn't even that. It wasn't even. I think it was not meant to be whitewashing. Honestly, because when I see an actor play a character who isn't what they usually are, like he's an American actor, but he plays a European. It's a little hard to do, especially if you're not really skilled at that. But like, I feel like he did a really good job. It's surprising because I'm like, when you see an actor like him in a role like that, you expect them to have like their normal accent, but no, because they're European, they have a different accent. I didn't. When I was watching the movie, I'm like, whoa, hey, he has to be different accents. It almost sounds wrong at first, but when the more you watch it, it's like, oh, I kind of, he did actually a really good job. That's really all I can say about the movie. The second Matt Damon movie I've seen that I've reviewed on the channel so far on the show. I mean, honestly, it's a really good movie. It has, I don't know what century it took place in. I don't know. I feel like there was I think it was the Chinese dynasty when the Great Wall of China was still like a thing when the warriors and all that stuff. So basically all that stuff, and in general, it was it told a very good story. Just told you how powerful the War of China is. The fact that they don't want to, they will stop nothing to make it not fall. They are defensive. They know how to be warriors and how to defend themselves. in general, them having a thing to defend themselves. I don't even know why the Tao Tieh are a thing. I don't know why they're a thing that they attack. I don't even know why they're there, but they're a, because every story has a bad thing. So this is the bad thing. It was really good. So anyway, I think that's gonna be all I'm gonna say for this review of Great Wall. It's a good movie, yeah, it's a really good movie. And as for the scoring of it, I didn't really have any problems with it. I really did not have any problems. It was phenomenal. It had some really good cinematography. I mean, seriously, the cinematography, especially when you see the characters, going in slow motion, that's cool. That's really cool. So, yeah, that's all I can say. Yeah, anyway. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode overviewed. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. I really do appreciate the support. And, if you're new to the channel, subscribe for more episodes of this series and other series that I do, as also great content. And I'll be back next time with another episode. Alright? See ya.